Been called in, and they're off for the 2012 running of the Betfred Eider Chase. 4 miles, 1 furlong, 25 fences to jump, and it's Boris the Blade who jumps off in front, taking just 1 fence before they make the turn into the home straight. All safely over the first. Posh Bird was last but one. Negus de Beaumont is at the back of the field, running in this race for the 3rd time, but he's yet to complete the course and already been pushed along in the very early stages by Lucy Alexander as they make the turn into the home straight and face up now into the teeth of this wind, which they'll have to face up to on 3 occasions in this ultra marathon. And it's Boris the Blade and Brian Harding who lead the way. Incentivized on the inside, Captain Americo was just a little awkward over fence number 2. Present My Lord is next with a red cap towards the inside rail, racing alongside Douglas Julian, and between horses is Air Square, and then Mr. Marker and Portrait King as they got over another plain one. Morgan B is next, followed by Posh Bird, and at the back of the field is Negus de Beaumont, who hasn't really picked up the bit so far, as Incentivized now leads them as they go over the next, which was fence number 4. On a short journey up towards the 5th, Incentivized and Charlie Post out in front. To Captain Americo on the inside in a very close second. Boris the Blade was over in 3rd. Air Square was over in 4th. And then on the outside, Douglas Julian. Followed by the gold and black hoops of Present My Lord. And then the orange and blue hoops of Mr. Marker. Next in the field is the grey Irish Raider Portrait King, winner of the Irish National Trial last time out at Punchestown. And then Morgan B, who's already been placed in this race on 2 occasions. Negus de Beaumont has now passed one, or he did at least for a stride or 2. And now been rejoined by Posh Bird towards the inside. Not surprisingly, they haven't got a great gallop in the early stages, and Captain Americo and Nick Schofield now have come through to poke their heads in front. To in second, Incentivize, and then towards the outside is Boris the Blade, the first, the 2 greys racing in 3rd position as they make a slightly downhill run on towards the next, which will be fence number 6, the only fence taken on this section of the course in the Betfred Eider Chase. On then towards the 6th they go. Incentivized in the green silks in the centre, dives at it, hit it hard, and was out-jumped comprehensively to the inside by Captain Americo and Nick Schofield. Incentivized over in 2nd, Boris the Blade was in 3rd. Air Square, the winners of the Borders National, on the inside now, coming through to take 3rd place. Mr. Marker has now taken 5th. Present My Lord is now in 6th, bidding to give rider Peter Buchanan back-to-back wins in this race, having won it on Companero 12 months ago. Trainer of Present My Lord, Nick Williams, the only trainer in this race to have previously had the winner. He saddled Filson Run to win in 2006. Over fence 7, the first of 5 taken down the back, at which they were all safe, and not for the first time. Negus de Beaumont is ridden away from that fence at the back of the field. On towards the next, another ditch, the 8th. Captain Americo led there by 2 lengths, Incentivized in 2nd. On the wide outside, Douglas Julian, the dark blue and pink colours, making a little bit of ground with Boris the Blade. And then on the inside over in 5th came Air Square, and in 6th Portrait King, giving a typical weighted patient ride by Dennis O'Regan through the first circuit. Morgan B towards the outside, Mr. Marker. Present My Lord has lost 1 or 2 places. Negus de Beaumont towards the back of the field with Posh Bird in the hands of Brian Hughes. On towards the next, Captain Americo, spring heel, jumps it well. Slightly better than Boris the Blade towards the outside, and Incentivize between horses. They've completed a circuit. Going on now towards the next, which will be fence number 11. 3 of them virtually in line as they take it. Captain America on the inside, on the outside over that Boris the Blade, the one who lost out in the jumping stakes, Incentivized back to 3rd, Air Square in 4th. On the outside, Douglas Julian is in 5th. Portrait King is the 2nd of the greys, racing in 6th position. And then a break of 2 lengths back to Mr. Marker in the orange. On that one's outside, the red, white and blue silks of Morgan B, 2nd in 2009, 3rd last year. And then on the inside is Present My Lord, followed by Negus de Beaumont and Posh Bird, the only mare in the field, is last as they crossed over the ditch, which was the 12th. So this is just about the halfway point in the Betfred Eider Chase of 2012, and Captain Americo, one of 6 previous Newcastle winners in the field, led them over that fence, and he's out in front by a length. To Boris the Blade in 2nd, and then just niggled on the outside is Douglas Julian. Towards the inside, Air Square is travelling very sweetly indeed for James Reevely in the maroon silks of owner John Wade as they crossed over the fence, which will be 2 out next time. So on now up towards the stands and a circuit to go. Fence number 15 in their sights. Captain Americo and Boris the Blade, the bottom weight, towards the outside, and then over in third came Douglas Julian. Incentivized is ridden along by Charlie Post, racing in fourth, and then Air Square is on the inside of Portrait King. Those two joined at the hip in fifth and sixth, and Morgan B is in seventh, and Mr. Marker is ridden now to the inside in eighth, and Negus de Beaumont, followed by Posh Bird, and Present My Lord is struggling now at the back of the field. So down the side of the course they go, on now towards their final stamina-sapping circuit of Gosforth Park, and it's Boris the Blade and Brian Harding who leads the way. He's out in front now by 2 clear lengths to Captain Americo, racing in second as they head now on towards fence number 16. And then Douglas Julian is racing in third, and in fourth is Air Square, and towards the outside, Portrait King hasn't been asked for any sort of effort so far by Dennis O'Regan as they now come into the wings of this fence taken on the side of the track. Boris the Blade hit that fence, and he was out-jumped on the outside by Captain Americo, who's put in a particularly good jump at that fence on both circuits. At the back of the field, one or two of them struggling very badly now. Incentivise is struggling badly, so too is Mr. Marker, as one by one they begin to drop away, and Air Square is another one now who noticeably has come off the bit and is ridden along for the first time by James Reevely as they turn down the back. And they've still got another 9 fences to take, 5 of them in the back straight. Boris the Blade, Captain Americo in the yellow. Portrait King, he now cuts towards the inside, jumping that one in third. And for the first time, Dennis O'Regan just let the handbrake off Portrait King to get a little bit closer. Douglas Julian on the outside as they go now towards the penultimate open ditch. And Boris the Blade is still out in front. He crossed that one with a lead of a length and a half over Captain Americo in second. In third, Portrait King over another plain one. And then Douglas Julian and Morgan B is getting closer, and Mr. Marker is a faller at fence number 19. Mr. Marker, the top weight is down with Dougie Costello. So going now on towards the next, fence number 20 of the 25. And it is still Boris the Blade and Brian Harding who leads. Now into second goes Portrait King, but he was out-jumped by Captain Americo, whose jumping is very firmly keeping him in this contest as they now begin to bunch up at the head of affairs. Posh Bird is creeping into it. Morgan B on the outside. Still there is Negus de Beaumont, but he was very slow over that fence as now they begin to make this long, lingering turn back towards home. And it's Boris the Blade who leads. Portrait King is in second. Captain Americo in the yellow is in third. The green cap is for Posh Bird. The red silks round the outside is Morgan B, who's run so gallantly in this race twice in the past. And these 5 have gone a long way clear of Negus de Beaumont, Incentivise, and then Air Square. Over the final ditch, that was the 4th from home. And Boris the Blade leads to Portrait King. Captain Americo is boxing on gamely between rivals. Posh Bird towards the outside, still there with every chance, and Morgan B as they got over the 3rd from home, and Portrait King jumped to the lead. Captain Americo in second. Posh Bird now on the outside looms as a big and persistent danger. The 2nd from home, Portrait King dived into the bottom of the fence, and Posh Bird swept by. Posh Bird and Brian Hughes now lead by over a length. Portrait King switches to the outside. The final fence of the Eider. Posh Bird, the mare, is out in front by 2 lengths now to Portrait King in second. Still they have 100 yards to go, and Portrait King is galvanised by Dennis O'Regan to win the Eider. Portrait King wins the race for Ireland, the first time Ireland have won since 2002. It was Portrait King who beat Posh Bird, Captain Americo, followed in 4th by Boris the Blade, and then came Negus de Beaumont and Morgan B, and only 6 got home.